guy just stands there, and then if Herrera isn't there, that chance goes to waste, and everyone says, Rashford, and then whatever. But if you watch Lukaku, he doesn't do nothing, He sees Rashford, he sees what he's doing, he just stands there. Like, how's the ball gonna come to you, bro? You're a striker. Like, he makes
There's 10 strikers in the league better than them.
His movement.
There's 10 strikers in the league better than them.
Yeah, I think so.
His movement is absolutely shocking. For a striker that can score goals, his movement is despicable.
Let's talk a little bit about United because you guys found your momentum, you got a couple good results, and now it's, we're back to...
Five at the back.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on yesterday.
I'm ready.
Elijah, have the floor.
Fam. Yeah. First of all, I need to talk about Pogba because yesterday is one of the worst performances I've seen from a human being, including myself. Because
you should see Sebi on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, you should see me.
Because there was one point where this guy, he's been having an awful game. This guy tries the most audacious trick I've ever seen, and he loses it, and he looks up saying, "Oh shit, I should have." Fam,
does he even take care? Does he even look at the ball sometimes?
Pogba is fully that meme, the worst options.
Yeah.
Pogba is
fully the worst thing about him is the fact that when he's having a shit game, he will still try to play like he's the best thing ever.
Honestly.
Like sometimes just go back to basics, pass it 5 yards. It might be difficult for him, but pass it 5 yards to McTominay. Yeah, get it back.
Really?
Just pass it. Just keep passing it.
Pop it.
Just feel yourself into the game. But this guy will try everything audacious, just little drag backs and touch. I'm thinking, my guy, please. I really want you to succeed, but please.
Just relax.
Do you know the
funny thing about United, yeah? The funny thing that kills me is Jose Mourinho. Okay, we're not a well-coached team, but he'll say, you know what? Yeah, I fancy going 3 in the back this game. Like, how does that make any sense, bro? You don't coach us well. Like, how are you going to switch the formation when we can't even pattern the formation we're already playing? So we're not even good in our normal formation. But you thought, masterstroke. I'm going to go 3 in the back this game. Bro. Like, it don't make no sense. Bro. The guy's sick in the head. Like.
Bro, I swear to God, I swear with Arsenal, it was like, we're going to go 3 in the back because we're facing Bournemouth and Spurs. They play 2 up front.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Why against Southampton? They don't score goals. They actually don't score goals.
You know that Mourinho's the gift that keeps on giving.
Southampton are so bad.
They're
When I
so
saw
bad.
that lineup,
It didn't make no sense.
I don't know any of the Southampton players. Like they got bare random people.
Who's Armstrong?
they signed him from Celtic.
Yoshida is their prime defender.
Like, you've got Yoshida in it. Like,
Yoshida, man.
I'm not going to say much in it, but from when you've got guys from certain nationalities,
anime dons at the back.
Back here.
Jesus.
Once you've got Goku and Vegeta, I said centre back.
You wanted to clip this.
And you can't even beat that team.
The views of Sebi.
The views of Sebi's are not mine.
Tell
Southampton had someone called Obafemi up front. I don't know who that was.
I don't know who
And he's from Ireland. Like,
Is he from Ireland?
He's Irish.
he's Irish, man.
Oh, is that Clinton Morrison?
He bodies the under 23 league.
Yeah.
Southampton.
No, but do you know what the worst thing is?
United are a mess,
Do you know what the worst thing is? Yeah, it was 2-2 half time. We're thinking, okay, we'll come back in the game. I swear, I've never seen a second half where nothing has ever happened.
It was 0.
Nothing happened. I can't.
I don't think he told him anything at half time.
We were playing 8-0-2. Like that was our formation for the second
Let's
half.
talk about Lukaku, man, please.
So what? Did he do his cruciates with that first time?
I think so, bro. I think like the guy is horrible. Like it doesn't make no sense. You know what it is? It's like, okay, Rashford, he's a young player in it, yeah. But Rashford took it upon himself to always drop in and try and create. Like that's not his job. What the midfielders should have been getting a ball up to him and Lukaku. One of them should have been dropping. One of them should have been turning or whatever. Rashford's coming all the way to the edge of our defense, to get the ball and try and create something, And that's obviously where Crystal Palace's goal come from. But the thing is, I didn't. Southampton. But I didn't blame because you're trying. Like no one else is trying to get the ball up the field, and he kept. Funny. And the thing is, even though he made a mistake, he kept on wanting the ball, and that's how both of our goals come from him getting the ball from deep, either going past one and then just making something out of nothing.
What goes through Lukaku's head? Like even he continues to do this as well. He pulled out left and right in first and second half. Tried to attempt the cross. Didn't beat the first geezer. Rebounded back to him and he thought, do you know what? I fancy myself. Let me try it again. And it goes. He knocks it 35 yards past the back stick.
The guy has no
Yes,
football
you need to
intelligence.
cut your losses.
As soon as he signed to Rock Nation, Jay-Z took on his powers.
Fam. That guy, he's insane. Like, he's actually insane. Like,
He's insane.
You know when people exaggerate and say, "Oh, I know a player that's better than him."
Yeah.
There's so many players playing, even on Tuesday with us now, that are better than Lukaku.
No, it's actually like he's doing this to offend me because you can't have a touch that bad.
It's horrible.
For no, like.
Yeah, but how can you be confident in yourself to be able to try and whip balls in and whip balls into Rashford and you have it's like he's been over safe with how he's trying to take a touch. He has no confidence in his instep.
He knows it's going to bounce off.
Finesse and take a cushion touch. He actually tries to roll over the ball, and this is what's doing.
That's what got him injured as well. He tried to roll.
You know what's so annoying with him, yeah?
Is he actually injured?
Yeah, is that you see even the goal Herrera scored when Rashford done whatever and Herrera scored, yeah? If just watch Lukaku and see if he makes any attempt to try and move towards the ball. The guy just stands there and then if Herrera isn't there, that chance goes to waste and everyone says, Rashford. And then, whatever. But if you watch Lukaku, he doesn't do nothing, He sees Rashford, he sees what he's doing, he just stands there. Like, how's the ball going to come to you, bro?
Movement.
You're a striker. Like, he
There's
makes
10
no
strikers in the
movement.
league better than him.
His movement.
There's 10 strikers in the league better than him.
Yeah, I think so.
There's
His
19.
movement is absolutely shocking. For a striker that can score goals, his movement is despicable.
He scored though. Scored. First goal in 12 games.
I think he got force fed that goal.
Fam.
Do you know what
Good
I think
finish, to be fair.
Lukaku's like one of his issues are? I think he's like, I don't know if this is him mentally, but I think complacency has crept into his game.
It has.
In that, he's very, very rarely dropped. And he knows that everybody else around him is playing at such a low level that the likelihood is if he sits one game out, he's going to be back in.
Yeah.
So all the things that people are critiquing him for, I feel like 3-4 years ago at Everton, he was like, he appeared anyway, and obviously I'm speculating, but he appeared to be working tirelessly to improve
on his
himself.
self-improvement.
But now, it looks like
Does he have no shame?
Has no shame.
no, but this
has no honour.
Genuinely, like it looks like now when he does have these bad games, the next game there doesn't even seem to be like him buzzing around to try and affect it in the same way that Rashford, like he will make a lot of I think people. I saw a tweet that basically was talking about how obviously Jose's reaction affects Rashford or whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently in Old Trafford, the atmosphere around like him when he makes mistakes, when he does things,
They love him. They keep going.
no. But I wasn't.
They love him,
on the flip side, that also apparently people don't like him.
Seriously?
Yeah. So apparently, like there's like groaning and moaning when he's not up to scratch.
Might be top
But
reds.
my point being is that Rashford still has that drive to be like, rah, if something's not going right, I'm gonna try my lungs gonna burst before I leave this pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't
Listen, Lukaku is trying. He's just shit, man.
No.
You've got two ends of the
man.
spectrum of someone being he's a lack of urgency to someone who's very urgent.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
can't
very
have
good.
two distant geezers that are like two separate. They're too far apart. Someone can't be that urgent and someone can't be that lackadaisical for them to not be trying to. It just don't work.
Like, do you know what it is? I was happy with Rash when he created the second goal. Yeah. But as a Man United fan, in terms of like on a team level, Rashford shouldn't have to go past 4 players. To create a chance.
Yes, poor.
Like Lukaku, where are you? Let me bop it into one. Where is something like? Why do I? Because if Rashford loses it there. Oh, Rashford! You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm talking about. It's those sorts of groans when he takes on players and he doesn't get it right. I feel like there's a kind of atmosphere at him. Oh, why has he done that? Oh, he's getting for instance, like the Brighton game last year when he didn't square it. It was Rashford's getting arrogant. It's like, what are you talking about? It's stuff like that that's creeping in, and he's not helped. And what you're saying as well is that what you're saying about him having to beat 4 players to create a goal. individual moments like that happen too frequently with Man United.
Yes.
It's not.
All our goals are individual.
This is what I'm saying.
Which is down to the fact that the system is totally
Yeah, they're not
dysfunctional.
It's not something. It's not something that's rare.
non-existent.
It's
It's not
not
even
something.
dysfunction. There's nothing.
It's not something that, like, with Man United, that like they're having an off day, so someone has to come up with the goods. But today,
every day.
it's all the time.
Every single goal is
And
individual.
it's almost every player. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make
Everyone's
no
playing
sense.
badly.
Every single day is an off day for United. That's like it's just like first of all, like my biggest problem is the fact that we are putting so much pressure on our best players that it's like when they don't perform well, it's a massive problem. So if Martial doesn't perform well, it's like shit. Wow, he's fucking shit. Rashford, massive. Oh, he's a dickhead. Pogba, of course. Yesterday he was just
Dreadful, but
man. But like it's just so much pressure on these players. It's like it shouldn't be like that. It should be like they like push up our system rather than them being our system. Like it's just getting to a point where we are relying on these players just to win games against shit teams. Like Southampton, we are relying on Rashford like doing 2 assists, which he has no right to do, to draw a game against Southampton, who have played Armstrong up front.
It's just because you've got 2 lazy bums and Fellaini who's incapable of doing it. I told people about Matic. He will come
No, but we all
and
did.
put it.
I
he'll
told
put-
people
he'll
about
put-
Matic.
yeah, because he'll come in and because I saw it at Chelsea. He'll put in 2 or 3 games where he wants to show himself and start getting to the starting lineup, and then he'll just go into cruise control.
Matic gave
and
me 6
abs-
months. He gave me 6 months and
I
he
don't
destroyed
think-
me.
I don't think he gave you that
from when
long.
he come to like say like
He gave what he gave,
November.
He gave me 3 months after that.
November, and then he came back again, and I don't
That
know.
guy-
But either way, he's
that,
horrible.
That guy, I never wanted him.
But look at our back three, yeah. That back three that started yesterday. What team does that get into? Like, who? Those 3 players. Like, I'm not even no banner aside. Do they even get into Cardiff?
no, yeah, the Middlesbrough.
No.
Middlesbrough.
No, I'm saying in the Premier. Oh yeah. In the Championship, but in the Premiership, those 3 players at centre back don't start for no team.
And I think one of the like most frustrating things about like the whole like environment at Man United now, yeah, is that I feel like Jose has like an I told you so sort of mentality, right?
He's
He
always
has like
had
a-
that mentality, though.
Yeah, and, he has
because-
but my feeling with it is that it doesn't feel like it's everyone usually. I feel like so even if he pams like Hazard or it's a Ramos or it's an individual, it feels like it's more than one piece this time, so, or more than usual. So he's battling. It's like it hurt him to play Martial at a point, even though Sanchez was playing so badly. Matic is the same thing. Matic is doing really poorly, like consistent. He's now thought, you know, okay, cool. He's doing bad in midfield. We need someone to build play, but he can't do it in midfield. But he's gonna be able to do it from the back. It's like why?
He hates Fred for some reason.
Why? This is what I'm saying. Why are you
And
trying
Pereira.
so?
Pereira had one bad game.
Why are you trying?
fam.
No, but this is my point. Because like Matic can have countless.
Every bad
Lukaku
game.
can have countless
Yeah.
or numerous bad games. It took Sanchez almost a year to be dropped, but then there's players in there that have won or haven't been seen.
Shall I tell you what makes me feel sick about Jose? Yeah, when Rashford missed that chance midweek,
Oh my
and he turned around and he basically
Yeah. This is what I'm talking
He
about. That's
posted
what
a
I'm
crowd like I told you so.
Yeah.
I told like, but the thing is, it was his comments before the game, basically saying, "You guys want me to play Rashford? I want to play Rashford." Cool. All right, no worries. So we come to the weekend now. Rashford saves your team now, yeah. Cool. Rashford comes off and that. Now it's Rashford's best friend. He's like, oh, yeah, cool. He's like, so what's wrong with your ankle? Like, he's trying to be cool with man. Like, and I'm just like, this guy's crazy.
Do you know what? Yeah, how can you be? I don't mind about like. You see what it is? How can you be so ignorant in a game like that though? You get back from 2-0 down, 2-2. You're at half time. You're in the game. How do you change the game up and substitute? You're trying to win the game, no?
Do you know what?
It's like he was happy for
Apparently-
settling for the point.
Apparently, Rashford's injured and Lukaku was injured. That's why I brought them off. But they should have been like he should have brought on players before that. He should have brought on players.
Yeah, it was
he
way
should have-
too late.
Them
He was
subs were like
right.
77 minutes.
He should
it
have
was way too late.
He also should have changed the system. The
At
system
half-time.
wasn't working.
You should change at half-time.
That
It
shit,
wasn't working.
the system's not working.
And-
like you didn't play good football to get in the game. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the system isn't working.
And that's the difference as well. Like even when we were talking about Emery earlier, in terms of that aggressiveness of changes, in terms of that I've got a plan for plan C.
Yeah.
Why you got so many plans? in
Emery's,
your
Jose-
Emery's,
Jose-
Emery's better than Jose.
Jose seems like he's guessing a little
No,
bit.
I feel like this is
the
a-
worst thing is that Jose used to be like that.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So that's why I don't understand. Like, not that. That's why I find it confusing that you can get to half time and everyone watching can think that was absolutely awful, expecting the team to come out firing, expecting changes to be made, and then the only reason changes are made is because two men get injured.
I feel like that's a characteristic. A lot of managers have been in the game a long time, starting to develop. Wenger developed it. As soon as they've been successful and it's worked, that one way they played worked. Yeah, they always got this reference saying, "Oh, it worked in the past. Why should I change it that drastically?"
I can say,
and
though,
the newer managers like the Tuchels, the Emerys, Klopp not really that much, Guardiola anyway, but like all these newer managers, these hipster managers, so called, they second guess themselves so much, and they always look to the next game how to do it differently. And I feel like the older guard, Mourinho being part of this, I think they're just relying on what they used to work for him, and he's not adaptable. On
that point though, all I'd say is that I find it difficult to judge managers on that. So I don't like inflexibility, so like the inability to change effectively. But one thing I'd say on that point in terms of like having a philosophy and having a way is a lot of managers like they focus on their philosophy or on their style of play for a really, really long time. It's something that's been manifesting. So from whenever he was working under Van Gaal or from like Porto days.
It's an education kind of thing.
And so you've now kind of built this thesis that your team's supposed to be played upon. And I completely understand that. Where I feel Jose's problem has like come from is that I feel like he's lost that way to a degree. Yeah. So I don't feel like he's as true to it as he once was. I think, and on the flip side, what he is true to is the same sort of arrogance. It's the same sort of, the mentality is the same, but the tactical element of it isn't. Yeah. So there's now there's a disconnect. Now I still think I'm the best, but I'm not even sticking to what made me the best to begin with. Yeah. So when a lot of people are saying, "Oh well, I don't care what he did at Chelsea, or I don't care what he did before," the reality of the situation is, if you look at these teams now, they're not even doing anything similar. Yeah. He hasn't got his pieces. The first year at Man United, to me, was Jose. It didn't go well.
That's the closest thing I've seen it. Like, I remember when one was playing Carrick, Pogba, Herrera, we had Mickey, Marshall and Ibra up front. That's the closest I've seen it. He
had his template, his blueprint. It was like, this is what it's been, this is what I've been used to. I've got my wide forward that kind of scores goals, my centre forward that I need because Rashford needs help. He had a plan. I needed my 4 players. He got his 4 players, and they looked to be in his image to some degree. And it didn't work. And I think after it didn't work, it rattled him a little bit. But he had the saving grace of getting into the Champions League, winning his trophies.
Getting more money.
Built a little bit of equity. Yeah. So the real issue is that second summer.
Why did you buy that second summer?
Because why after that? That's when Lukaku.
And Lukaku.
So that's the transition in which now that's not
destruction.
Because he's everyone says he wins the title in the second season. He's not done it. But not only has he not done it, he's been completely outclassed. So now it's like my way, because effectively he was still
Top Bets would still say he would have won if Guardiola wouldn't be here.
No, but my point is that even with the pieces
no
that he added in the second summer, you then think, I've got a new striker because one's too old. Okay, cool. But the premise is the same. I've got my wide forwards. Martial and Rashford started fairly well that year. I remember they were like alternating. Matic has now come in to be the upgrade on Herrera that people believed was needed, and Carrick left. So now you've got your 4-2-3-1, effectively the same thing. Yeah. He's then added Sanchez. When you start to look at what he likes, the team's there, or the players are there to some degree, but they're not performing. Yeah. He's then started to chop and change to accommodate. Obviously, people said that Pogba couldn't play. They didn't feel like Pogba could play in a 2 or play in a 3.
That was a big issue.
So now he's starting to shift away from that. The 4 players he got, the 4-2-3-1, it's now come into trying to accommodate people to get the best out of players because it's not working, because Pogba's not fitting this or this isn't working. And now
they're trying to rely on Fellaini.
You've come to this year, and it's like you've lost everything that you had in that first year.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.